Don't wanna wait till the sun's sinking, we can be feeling alright. I know you know that. I'm thinking what we do. Daydreaming.
All right, it is week 4. This is the Attic C2FL podcast. I am your commish. Let's get to it. I know it's not Thursday, it's actually Friday, but there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. So week 4, we're back into divisional matchups, the all-important divisional games. We're done with that cross-division stuff for a little while, and week 3 was pretty exciting. Came down to the wire with a few games. Wasn't close numbers wise, but going into Monday night there were some questions, and some teams came out on top that I think they were pretty happy with. Looking around the league, let's take a look. Let's get one thing up. There are some undefeateds left. I guess we'll give a little shout out to them. One went down last week, thanks to the Propaniacs, who are not defeated anymore. Undefeated teams, the Meatheads, Stink City Bombers. The Meatheads are the highest scoring team in the league by about 7 points. And Suit Up. So those are your undefeated teams. And unfortunately, there is one current defeated team sitting at 0-3. And they're, I know the owner's looking to turn things around. And that brings us a good lead-in to our special guest. This is a great special podcast event. We're coming to you live. We have our guest in Waukesha here, Mr. Brian Down from the Pinecone Fury.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast,
Hello,
sir.
Commish. Hello.
Thanks for joining us here live. Let's have a seat and let's talk a little C2FL action. Now you're sitting at 0-3.
Yep.
Which isn't good. That's not a good start.
No.
How do you feel about your team then, even though they're 0-3?
I was actually looking about that and looking over the guys on our team, and we drafted them for a reason. And I think that we stuck with all our same guys. I think we started the same lineup pretty much each and every week. But that's because we have a lot of trust in those guys, and they're going to pull through. I would like to point out Justin Forsett finally did something, at least this past yesterday, I guess. So
he did come alive there, which a lot of people didn't see coming, did see coming, not sure, but
yep.
he at least showed up.
Yep.
He did
something.
So you're thinking that early start, it's just the beginning of the year. You think your team looking good down the stretch and then turn around. Peyton Manning looked a little better.
Yeah. I think I don't know what the slow start we can attribute that to, but these guys are all fighters on our team. They all can face adversity like the rest of them, and I think that things are turning around a little bit. Got a little unlucky a couple weeks there, but yeah, like I said, sticking with our guys, making sure that we don't rush to any changes, and stay in our course.
So speaking of changes, is there a change at the quarterback position for you this week? You had big points on the bench last week from Mr. Blake Bortles.
Yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater just is Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. Blake's been doing really well, especially against a New England team. I think he played last week, and maybe we'll have to reassess that. But right now, Teddy's our quarterback.
Okay. Hey, he said it here. We just gotta. Everybody likes the backup. You know what I mean? Everybody likes the backup. So 105 points last week.
Yeah.
-1 out of your kicker.
Yeah. Is that Matt?
Yeah, that's Mr. Matt. He had that extra point blocked.
Yeah.
And 0 out of Michael Kendricks on the defense. So hopefully you get that turned around.
Yep.
Let's take a look at this week's matchup. You are going up against a team that I know quite well in NATO Nation. How do you feel about this matchup coming up?
I feel pretty good, especially with our strong start. I think we're in the lead right now, but anything goes. NATO Nation's a tough team, and we'll just have to see where the points end up at the end of it.
Yeah, big game out of Forsett there this week. That's been established. NATO Nation had nobody going, but you know, Alex Smith looked rough last week until some late garbage time points.
Yeah,
but,
I watched him in person. It was pretty.
Yeah, you had the first-hand look at one of your competitors this week.
Right. Those garbage touchdowns were kind of enraging, but yeah, he didn't look too good otherwise.
So this week he's got Alex Smith against the Bengals. You know, you see anything here where you're a lock that you're going to be ahead of them? I know you guys at home can't see it, but we kind of have the matchup. So if you're kind of watching at home, you can take a look at the matchups. He's got Adrian Peterson, Mike Evans, Beckham Jr. You know,
I think that our quarterbacks are actually playing this week, Teddy and Peyton, and I feel like that could be a shootout. It could be.
It
really could be.
It is in Mile High, and
Yeah.
I mean the Denver's defenses looked okay, but
I think it still could be a shootout. Teddy, this might be the week that Teddy just unleashes it. But yeah, so Alex Smith, like I said, wasn't too impressed. Matthew Stafford, isn't he hurt? No, he was a little banged up. He's okay though.
Some issues during the week, but all signs point to him playing.
Okay.
But that's the Monday night game. So if there were questions, he's got him in the lineup. Something happens, late.
Yeah.
Late on Sunday or something, traveling. That could be a battle. You guys have anybody going in the hurricane game between Philly and Washington?
That's right.
I heard the Hurricanes gonna veer off, and they're still gonna play the game, but it could be weather dependent. You got Jordan Reed, still a must start, I think. I mean, you gotta have him in the lineup.
I do have Charles Clay sitting there. Charles been working hard all week. He had a good game last week. We still, I think we feel comfortable with Jordan at the starting position, but that's something that we'll have to reevaluate coming into the weekend.
So this is a flex league. Do you see Clay moving in there in front of any of these other guys? I mean, you can stuff them around in the lineup.
Like I said at the top of the podcast, I think that, we feel good about the best team that we have, putting it out week after week. Yeah, some guys have been outscoring on the bench, but, we trust in our starters, and until we choose otherwise, I think they're our starters. But,
that's always possible. There's some people on the bench, Charles Clay, Travis Benjamin, who gets 2 targets a game, and if Johnny Manziel was in there, he'd be in the lineup, right?
Exactly.
50-yard TDs every week, multiple.
Yeah, 2 targets a week.
But yeah, so that's kind of, unfortunately, we're sitting 0-3. But
yeah.
I think NATO Nation is beatable. They beat me, but I think you beat them this week. Let's go back to the home. There's a ton of people down there. You got the Bruisers at 1-2. They got a tough matchup with straight out of Compton, the division leader in your division. You're matching up with NATO Nation. You knock off NATO, then the Bruisers lose. All 3 you're sitting at 1-3.
I think this might be the turnaround week. I think that like I mentioned, battle adversity and really get back into this thing. Like you said, there's 2 teams above us, one with a tough matchup, one to match up against us, always could put up a fight, maybe, possibly. But yeah, like you said, just a couple things going our way and we're right back in it.
So yeah, and one more thing about the Pinecone Fury, they are 0-3, but their average points against is 161.7.
Brutal.
That's astronomical.
Brutal.
That is unbelievable. Let's take a look at the Propaniacs. Their average points against is 120.2. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm 3-0 because I'm 1-2, but that's ridiculous. It's all about who you play. Although 10 inches of rain leads the whole league average points against at 172.7.
That's also brutal. Yeah.
Although that could be a little skewed, being we do have to give a congratulations to the mighty Jabronis. Last week, broke the scoring record. What did they end up with? They ended up with the Jabronis. I just want to get this right, so I'm checking in. 223.1. That's a big number. You think you can beat that this week?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. I don't know. Our guys guys are fully capable. It's just a matter of them going out and executing and, you know, doing everything that they can do to win those points.
And that is what it's all about. So we do appreciate he flew all the way in from Boston just for this podcast, and this is amazing.
Yep.
This is
got
great.
my Colt Brennan jersey on.
He's rocking Colt Brennan. I'll give somebody. Okay, a few people don't count, but if you can name my jersey, you get a little. You don't get a bonus point, but you get a bonus point in my mind if you can name it. Some people don't count in the league. Alec, Derek, you guys don't count. Sorry, but let's. Okay, official game of the week just came out a couple of hours ago.
I
Did
heard.
you see that?
I saw.
Okay, so let's go to the homepage. Game of the week. Straight out of Wisconsin at the Bruisers. So the Bruisers, two weeks in a row, game of the week, 2 weeks in a row at home. Back into divisional play, so they can't win outside the division. That has been proven. We're now they're over a year into the streak of not being able to win in the division.
That's rough.
Or outside of the division. They can win in the division. So they always play division opponents tough. They're sitting at 1-2. Compton at 2-1 after losing the Propaniacs and a tough loss where half their team got hurt. So that was unbelievable. Games have already started a little bit. Let's take a look. 18.5 the Bruisers sit at to Compton's 15.9. Bruisers had 2 guys go, Lawrence Timmons and Jimmy Smith, the cornerback from Baltimore. And Compton had Michael Vick and CJ Mosley. So we've already kind of started. It's Friday. That's okay. We'll still break down. We'll do this kind of like we normally do, position-wise. Quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks for Compton, Matt Ryan, Michael Vick, who has already played, so we get to cheat. And going up against Nick Foles and Russell Wilson. So matching those up, who do you think has the edge?
I like Matt Ryan and Michael Vick. I kind of already see what Michael's put up. Not that great, but Matt
Not
Ryan.
horrible. I mean,
Matt Ryan with Julio Jones has just been unstoppable so far, and I like it to continue.
So you think? I mean, he's got Foles in the lineup. Now this is early lineups. This is all we got here. He's got Mariota on the bye, so that's why Foles is in there. Cardinals tough matchup, and Russell Wilson at home against the Lions. But I think Matt Ryan outscores Russell.
For sure.
You know, I think they should. Seattle's just gonna. I don't know who knows if Marshawn's playing, but Rawls looked like he's running through everybody.
The Lions have not looked good though.
Yeah, and the Lions haven't looked good. So I think that Matt Ryan outscores Russell. That means Nick Foles has to get more than 11.4. Is he going to do that against the Cardinals? I'm not sure.
The Cardinals, yeah.
At the Cardinals, yes, on the road. So yeah, I like your pick. I think I'm going with Compton on that one as well. So again, flex league, so it's all muddled, but we're just going to look at one starting running back. We got Jamal Charles matched up with Eddie Lacy. A couple big namers, high draft picks right there.
Yeah.
One of your guys there, Eddie Lacy, hometown Packer player. What do you think?
I saw the game firsthand last week, and Jamal Charles also got some garbage time touchdowns as well. So I think if you're looking at last week's numbers, it might be a little bit bloated. Eddie Lacy is kind of hurt though. So
He's probably not 100%.
Yeah.
I did not watch a whole lot of the Green Bay Packer Monday night game. Apologize.
no, that's all right.
Not really my cup of tea.
But 49ers have also looked god-awful. So who knows? I'd say that's a toss-up. Jamal Charles, Eddie Lacy toss-up.
Yeah, I would agree there. Maybe the slight edge to Charles, but we'll see. It's either one of them could have a day, and either one of them could just not get the end zone. So that's kind of what it's all about. Moving on, starting receiver, we're gonna pick Percy Harvin, I guess, from straight out of Compton, or Terrence Williams. I take your pick on that one.
All right.
Matched up with Amari Cooper
Sounds like my
from the Bruisers.
options.
So not stellar wide receivers, but Cooper's looked good. He's at least scoring some points with Carr throwing him the ball, which is unbelievable at most. So what do you think? Who's got the edge?
Well, Carr has been compared to Aaron Rodgers by Tremont Williams recently, so
I've
have
seen
not seen
so
many of
many
his games.
so many equivalencies between the two.
So I haven't seen any games. I'll preface it with that, but apparently Amari Cooper's catching the ball from a pretty great quarterback. Sorry, what was it? Cooper versus what we pick?
We're gonna pick Percy Harvin because Terrence Williams did nothing with Brandon Whedon throwing him the ball.
Yeah, I'll go with Cooper.
Okay, I'm with you on that one, Amari Cooper. I don't believe in the Carr is the next Rodgers. I mean, they both played in the state of California. I guess that's quite a comparison right there. Starting tight ends, we got Tyler Eifert for Compton versus, I'm going to go Greg Olson for the Bruisers. Who do you think? Who's got the edge?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm not entirely sure, but I think Eifert's been doing well, right?
Yeah, he has, and he's got the Chiefs this week at home against the Chiefs. You know, you kind of saw firsthand the Chiefs.
Yeah,
last week how they look against the tight end.
They destroyed our tight end. He's actually hurt for 9 weeks or something like that. So yeah, good luck, Eifert. I don't know, but yeah, I'd still pick him over Greg Olson.
Yeah, Olson's got Tampa Bay, which
well, that might change things.
Awful. Sorry, Alec. Not that the Dolphins are any better. But yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Greg Olson on this one.
All right.
We differ a little bit there. Let's go right into the flex position. So those who we didn't pick: Todd Gurley, Jeremy Hill, and Terrence Williams. So that's your three from Compton. Versus T.J. Yeldon, Pierre Garçon, which could be a Hurricane game, and Jason Witten. So we got 2 tight ends in there for the Bruisers, which is pretty standard. I'm pretty sure they'd start 4 if they could. I mean, that's a tough. Nobody's really jumping out of the screen there.
No.
You know, it could go either way. Let's take a look at matchups. Yeldon against the Colts.
Okay.
Defenses look bad. Garçon against the Eagles, which might be okay with Jackson out, but that game could be a mud pit of water. You know, windier than shit, and Kirk Cousins probably can't throw in the wind or to the right team. And Jason Witten, Brandon Whedon throwing him the ball, didn't get a whole lot of work last week because all he threw it to was Dunbar. But, you know, tough matchups on the Bruiser side, but it doesn't get a whole lot better on Compton's side. Todd Gurley, how much production are we going to get out of him? Are they going to set him free? I don't know.
The rookies.
Terrence Williams didn't catch a ball last week, I don't think. And who else did we say? Jeremy Hill. You know, he's probably the best one out of the group.
Yep.
But how much is Gio going to get in there? You know, who's going to have the hot hand? That's a tough call. So you got a winner in this one, or is it just going to be a straight coin flip to see who gets in the end zone?
I would coin flip,
Yeah.
but I'm also the 0-3 team of the league, so you probably don't want to take much advice from me in terms of coin flipping versus actually putting a legitimate decision together. But
you know, I'm 1-2, and we're the 2 lowest scoring teams in the league.
Have you coin flipped? Have you coin flipped this year?
On the podcast?
No, just setting your lineup.
No, I did. I had a horrible genius thing happen to me last week. I picked up a linebacker at the 0 hour on the Thursday night game, got me no points. Benched Frank Gore. He scored 2 touchdowns, so it was awful. Matt Jones fumbled at the goal line. The week previous, Frank Gore fumbled at the goal line, so all my guys fumbled at the goal line.
Yeah, so you're telling me that we should sign up for DraftKings.
I think, you know, I'm a FanDuel guy, but if I see a few more DraftKings commercials, I think I'm going to be flipped.
Or just in the out of you.
Okay, that does the flex. Let's see. Let's go right into the defense because kickers don't count. Khalil Mack, Cole Misi, and C.J. Mosley, who has 4.5 points on the week, versus 2 defenders over here for the Bruisers. Anthony Barr, Lawrence Timmons, and Jimmy Smith. He's already got 18.5 out of his defense. Which way you going on that one?
18.5 is not bad for.
And Compton's already had a guy score 4.5.
Right.
So
you're really looking at.
It's Misi and Mack versus Anthony Barr. Needs to outscore him by, 14.
Yeah, I like the points are already there. I think that 16.5 out of Timmons is pretty good. Get in there. Sack and
Yeah, 10 tackles, 10 solos, which gets you in the bonus, and 1 sack and 1 assist. So
not bad.
That's a big day.
Not
Anytime
bad.
you can get the tackle bonus, that's very helpful. So that is breaking down game of the week. You got a score prediction on game of the week?
Ooh.
You don't have to. You're not involved in the game of the week. Usually, if the person's involved, we'll give them a score. But
what did we say? We said 1 for West Compton.
The quarterbacks.
Coin flip for the
starting
running backs.
Yeah, and the flex. And then you gave the tight ends to Compton, and you gave the defense to the Bruisers. So it's a pretty even matchup. I mean, this game's going to go down to the wire. That's for sure.
That's why it's the game of the week.
That is why it's the game of the week. Also, the other matchups weren't. I mean, it was really like the top of the division versus the bottom, like straight across, except for this game.
Yeah, screw those guys.
So that is that. You got a score. You can pass if you want to.
I'll throw something out there. Let's see. I'm thinking 150 for the Bruisers, and we'll give 172 to West Compton.
Big scoring week for these two teams. You heard it here first. Compton with the victory, according to the Fury owner. So, as with the normal podcast, we're going to go right into speed round to wrap it up. Let's take a look at this week's matchups. Let's take a rewind to my picks last week because I was my own guest. Let's go back to the results. Suit up. Yep, that's a win. 10 IOR. That was a brutal beating by the Jabronis, so that's a no. Propaniacs. Yep, that's a win. Woodsman. Yep, that's a win. Stink City. That was a victory, I believe, because they're undefeated. And the Meatheads are undefeated. So I tied Craig's numbers with only one loss, and that was a bad loss. 10 Inches of Rain just got mopped, to say it lightly. All right, speed round with the Pinecone Fury owner.
Yep.
Compton and the Bruisers. We already got Compton.
Yep. Compton.
All right, NATO Nation, Pinecone Fury, your matchup. Who are you taking?
Really? The Fury.
All right.
With their first win.
First win over NATO right here. Matterhorn and the Meatheads.
I like the Meatheads.
Picking them to stay undefeated. Jabroni Stink City.
Yeah, how can you pick against a team that put up 220 last week?
Stink City already has 41.8 points.
That's true. I'm going to have to go with the Jabronis.
Upset right here. Yeah, how do you pick it against a team that just set the high score? They're heating up. 10 IOR versus the Woodsman.
Ooh.
Big quarter division battle right there.
I'll choose the Woodsman. Yep.
And to wrap it up, we got Suit Up versus the Commission's Propaniacs.
Ooh.
Don't feel obligated on this pick.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. What did the Suit Up do last week? How did they do?
I believe they won.
They won?
Yeah, they're undefeated.
Mm.
I know that second week in a row, Propaniacs have faced an undefeated team.
Yeah, that's tough. Undefeated team, but I'm all for shaking up the standings. I think the undefeated come down and then the defeated go up, and it comes to, good games down the road. I take the Propaniacs.
Propaniacs right there. That is the speed round. Compton, Pinecone, Meatheads, Jabronis, Woodsman, and Propaniacs. That's all we have unless you have some last words. Thanks for flying all the way in to do the podcast live. This is great.
Happy to be here. Do it again. Thanks to my sponsor, Aunt Jemima.
Right there. Syrup you later. Have a good breakfast, folks. That's all I got. This is the C2FL podcast.
Peace.
Why don't we do it? Take it.